Welcome back to Mornings with Luann and Tim. I'm so happy you're here, Jocelyn McCullough. This is my, do you say McCullough or McCullough?
McCullough.
McCullough, all right. Jocelyn and I go back, oh wow, probably about 10 years now, but for the last 7 years, our affiliation mostly has been through Sue Sings for Kids. Mm-hmm. You were involved right from the get-go, weren't you?
No, I joined Algonquin Public Health in 2014 when they had just finished the second year.
I didn't realize that. I thought you were there the whole time.
No.
You got a lot of music in your background, though.
Yeah.
I mean, you've done musical theater in town with community theater groups. Your family's very musical, aren't they?
Yeah, we grew up, we did the Bandettes, Drum Bugle Corps, and I traveled the U.S. with the Blue Stars, and
yeah. And I think I spent some evenings with your mother at karaoke a few times here and there. Now, speaking of karaoke, one of the reasons why I called you is because I saw you doing this really fun thing for the teams that have registered this year for Sue Sings for Kids.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about just how you're setting the stage almost for these teams that are participating this year with a fun night.
Well, this year we have 10 teams registered, which
Holy
is amazing.
smoke.
We have at least 13 workplaces, and so it's a nice time to kind of invite the new teams on and reconnect with the other teams as well.
Because the teams don't often get to socialize other than they cross paths usually when there's rehearsals going on at the very final stages at the theater center. Right. And then there's usually like an evening, a celebration after, but they don't really socialize outside of that.
No, and I mean, the basis of Sue Sings for Kids was arranged by Sharon Vanderberg as a workplace glee competition. So we thought, why don't we expand it to a community glee? So this is one way that we do that. You know, we share kind of that passion, that love for singing and for our community.
Right.
And through karaoke, you know, for the teams and, you know, their close
When are you doing it?
relatives. Next Friday.
Next Friday, okay.
Yeah.
It's not really open to the public. This is just, but I'm just sharing this story because it's such a feel-good story. So these workplace teams get together, all for the good of local children's charities. In 7 years, Jocelyn, how much has Sue Sings for Kids raised thus far?
Over $130,000 for our local children's charities.
Everything stays local. So the idea, of course, behind this is that workplaces get together, or combined workplaces, which is also sort of new in the last few years. Because oftentimes a workplace doesn't have enough people to make up a team.
Sure.
So workplaces are allowed to combine forces. Like, for instance, who's combining forces this year? The Lynn and Arch, that's a brand new team this year. Any other new teams this year you can remember?
Yeah, so the CLA, the Community Living Algoma.
Have they put one in?
Yes.
They're great friends of ours here at On TV. They've hosted us, actually, we've done live on locations a couple times at CLA.
Wonderful. I'm so happy to have them.
Yeah.
Algoma Family Services has partnered up with City of Sault Ste. Marie Social Services.
We finally got AFS in there.
They're here finally.
That's wonderful. So these teams get together and when did they choose their songs and register and pick all their stuff? Has that already been taken care of?
Pretty much taken care of, yeah.
I would imagine.
There's 10 teams registered. We wouldn't want to have more than 12, I think, just for the
length of the show.
Everything,
right?
Yeah, I want to keep it.
So they probably started rehearsals when? November? When?
Yeah, we start talking about it September, October. We kind of develop our theme, pick our music, register in November.
Right.
Then we do some planning, and then our rehearsals start typically in January.
So you're really just getting underway now.
Exactly.
I know that Kevin, our master controller here, is one of the coaches. So for those who don't know also, local mentors are brought in, whether they're choreographers or whether they're music directors for the teams. They volunteer their time and they work in rehearsal with the teams, coaching, mentoring, giving choreography, giving performance tips, so that the teams get together and by the end they've got an entire production number that's ready to go.
Right.
And then when is the actual event this year, the show itself?
So the show's Wednesday, May 13th. It starts at 7 p.m. Tickets are $30. You can get them online or at the box office.
Online, by the way, is SaultCTC.ca, and Sue is spelled SAULT. SAULTCTC.ca. Box office in the Station Mall, right?
Yeah.
And I should warn you now, every year for 7 years, Sue Sings for Kids has completely sold out. And there's usually waiting lists for people who didn't get tickets. So I really do encourage you to get your tickets now.
Definitely.
I hear you have a very entertaining host for the show.
Yes, I wonder who it could be.
It could be me.
Welcome again.
I have such a great time. It's one of the highlights of my year, honestly, because I love watching the passion that these people bring to the stage. And it also highlights the amazing talents that we have in the hidden talents in the workplaces. Let's talk a little bit about some of the charities that have benefited. Can you mention some of those in the past 7 years?
Yeah, I know in the past, Jumpstart, which is through Canadian Tire, they keep all the funds local so that people maybe who couldn't maybe afford to put their kids into different sporting events,
sporting programs, even equipment and stuff too.
Exactly, equipment. I know that the Women in Crisis Children's Program has benefited, the Surrey Hospital Children and Adolescent Psychiatric Unit.
Yes, that's right. And the list goes on. I mean, the list of charities that benefit, and the really amazing thing about this too is there are some grand prize winners. I mean, as much as is it 5,000 has been as high as
last year we did 5,500 for
the first place, and that goes to the charity of the team's choice. So there's this first, second, third that are substantially more, but then even after that, every team that enters is guaranteed to take some money home for their charity. Not money home. They don't take it home. They just get they will receive a check for their charity of their choice.
And so our goal every year is to get enough sponsors to donate so that we can give all of the ticket sale funds. So if you purchase a ticket, you know that that full fund that we receive goes directly towards local children's charities.
Because, I mean, obviously there's overhead involved in putting on a show like this. You have to rent the theater space, and that comes with technicians whose salaries must be paid. There's also printing costs for programs. There are a lot of overhead expenses. I mean, you incur office costs too in printing and stuff. So
insurance.
When you insurance. So when you have the sponsors, and I know in the past you've had some really regular sponsors. Floriani O'Toole, for instance, I think has been along for the ride almost every year. And there's different levels of sponsorship.
Exactly.
So if you're a smaller business, you could go bronze, all the way up to platinum, right?
Yep.
And that money offsets the overhead costs so that every dollar from ticket prices can go to the kids.
Yeah. And so, you know, we are always looking for sponsors, and we appreciate that. And if they were interested in sponsoring, they could email us info@susings.ca.
info@susings.ca is the email. You have a really great Facebook page. And you have a great website now too.
Yes.
I remember, did Eric Vanderberg get that underway originally and now it's off and running, or?
It's, their nephew, Dave.
Dave,
yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
that Vanderberg family, eh? All involved.
Yeah, thank you.
So the website, is it susingsforkids.com
or susings.ca?
Or susings.ca, either one works.
Yeah.
And that's certainly how someone could get in touch with you to offer sponsorship.
Yeah. There's a donate button right on the top corner. It's good throughout the year.
You can also choose to donate throughout the year too. And then on the night, this is also fun, on the night of the event, generally it's live streamed, and you can also donate over the course of the evening as well. There's a People's Choice Award that's given out. So your APH has a team in again?
We do. We've been, I think, Encore. We've been a part the whole way. Sharon Vanderberg was our founder, and so she led the team, and I think the team just...
No, and we never talk about what songs you're doing. That's always, because the teams don't know what...
I don't even know what the other teams are doing.
And you're on the board.
Yes, so we have a couple people who are dedicated, but I don't like to know.
You're a co-chair. Who's the other chair with you this year, Jocelyn?
Carrie Finley. Yeah.
Is Carrie with the city?
She's with the city.
Okay. And what about as far as... the children, do you get any feedback from the kids who benefit from the programs? Have you ever had a chance to hear about?
Yeah, so we have had some coverage on the charities who have used the funds. So I know they've thrown maybe some Christmas parties, or you know, they've had equipment purchased for the children,
right?
And given them opportunities they may not have.
It's a totally feel-good event, and unless you've actually seen it, you will not believe. I love it when I'm emceeing, and after the first act, usually I'll come out and the audience, anybody who hasn't been there before is usually absolutely stunned, floored, blown away by the professionalism, the quality of the talent. So if you haven't checked it out, really, I do encourage you, if you haven't seen the Sue Sings for Kids yet, get your ticket now, because you're not going to get in otherwise.
Yeah.
Have fun at the karaoke night.
Thank you.
Where are you doing that?
That'll be with Grand Gardens.
Oh, nice of them. Grand Gardens North or downtown?
Downtown.
Downtown, okay. More intimate venue. Great.
Yeah.
Have fun.
Okay,
Jocelyn,
thanks,
I'll see you on the 13th of May at 7 o'clock sharp.
We'll see you there.
I'll be there, and we hope to see you there too. Thanks to Jocelyn McCullough for being here from Sue Sings for Kids, and we'll be back with more Mornings with Luann and Tim right after this message.